The chairman of the TSLB board, Mr. Sito, members of the board, the executives of the office, parents, and of course the recipients. Good Bulabanaka to you all. Okay. It's a very special day for these 5 students who are about to embark on a journey, the final leg of their journey to eventually get a formal tertiary qualification. Today we are here to be part of this happy occasion of the beginning of their journey to go and start their tertiary study in a country called Cuba. Cuba is known for providing medical degrees when you talk about tertiary studies. Cuban graduates in medical, particularly the MBBS degree, is known throughout the world with respect to the quality of the program. And Fiji receiving these awards, it's a blessing to the country, given where we are at this juncture with regard to the demand for qualified practitioners in the medical field, particularly doctors. So we, the country, are quite honored, and on behalf of the government of Fiji and our Prime Minister, I wish to thank the government of Cuba for providing Fiji these 5 awards. And of course, those selected are our toppers, our bright minds, young bright minds, who's going there to pursue a career in medical, a study in medical, leading towards a MBBS degree, a double degree, bachelor's degree in medicine and bachelor's degree in surgery. These 5 will join the other 34 that are there at different stages of this particular program. And I must say that we are quite indebted to the government of Cuba for providing scholarships to help us develop capacity in this area of expertise, which we are struggling at the moment. You will note that we have received complaints. Often we do receive complaints about the delay in patients getting attention, medical attention, and it is a result of us not being able to fulfill the required number of doctors that we need to have in our hospitals. It is not that we are not investing, it is not that government is not investing in this. We are producing graduates out of our 2 medical schools in Fiji, but the issue is just not supplying every year, but it's also our ability to retain those, not only in the public hospitals and medical centers, but also within Fiji. Medical area shortage in doctors is not only confined to Fiji, but throughout the world. We have this shortage because of the primary reason. 2 primary reasons. One is that not everyone can or are allowed to study medical programs, because in medical programs you cannot allow any error. Unlike in normal commerce area, you can allow 2.5% or 5% error in both the tails of the distribution. But in the area of medical, there's no room for error. You have to give the right injection, you have to do the right surgical procedures, because you're dealing with lives of people. And therefore, you need to be of that particular standard, that particular caliber, and you must have that particular aptitude in order for you to get admitted. So that is one of the reasons why we have a global shortage in terms of supply of medical graduates. The second reason why we have a global shortage of supply of medical graduates is because universities cannot just churn out graduates in with medical degree like we do in commerce. In commerce, you need a whiteboard, a classroom, and a little bit of IT support and library, and that's it. You don't have space limitations. You can have 400, 500 students in a classroom, in a lecture room, while tutorials you limit it to 25 or so, and then you have got multiple tutorials. But medical colleges, medical universities throughout the world, they have limitations they have limitations with respect to number of students they can admit, and it is regulated by or guided by WHO requirements. Secondly, medical colleges, you just cannot establish medical colleges overnight. In most countries, the requirement of a medical college is to also have a medical university attached to it. Without, a hospital. Without a hospital, you can't have a medical college, because that's where the students will be exposed to clinical procedures. And in countries with large populations, having a medical college is easier because students get exposed to these surgical procedures, not only the number of procedures, but also the types of procedures. And that's what is required to have a quality graduate in medical science or medical degree. These are some of the limitations and challenges that small countries like Fiji faces, and that is why you'll find that not all countries can have a medical college. Fiji is fortunate to have, and Fiji is the only Pacific Island country which has a small Pacific Island country which has a fully fledged medical college, and therefore we end up admitting students from other Pacific Island countries. So these limitations are actually causing us not being able to keep up with the ratio of a medical doctor to patient. At the moment, we got about 3 times higher than what the ratio should be. The WHO requirement is that per day, a doctor should only see around 20% or so. But at the moment, we are far exceeding that ratio. And we can't help it because supply is an issue, retention is an issue. Retention not only from government medical hospital or medical centers to the private sector, but also from Fiji to other countries. We have our own inherent disadvantages in terms of exchange rate and salary structures, which is challenging us to retain medical doctors. But we are quite blessed to have people who have got quite passionate about serving in Fiji, passionate about serving their country, their people, and therefore the differential in salary at times don't really matter to them. They're willing to sacrifice that, but to stay behind in Fiji and contribute to the growth and development of Fiji, as well as the well-being and welfare of people in Fiji. So on behalf of the government of Fiji, it's my pleasure and honor to thank the government of Cuba. And I also want to, at this juncture, thank the students for taking up this particular field, which is not an easy road towards to graduation. It is a very arduous road. It is not a short program. I think it's a 6 to 7 year program, including the clinical experience as well as language training that you need to do, because Cuba uses Spanish language. I want to also at this juncture thank all the parents. Their hard work, their sacrifices has led these students to come so far. It is not easy in a country like Fiji, where challenges are much different than countries like Australia, New Zealand, etc. Often people do not understand the challenges that we face in Fiji. Last week I was in Kandava, I was just telling the chairman, and the kind of challenges the parents are facing in terms of sending and preparing the children to come to school is much different than what you find in urban area in Suva, Lautoka, India, etc. And I must say, I take my hats off to the parents who have, particularly in the past, when we did not have free education and all those benefits that we had now. And I want to thank those parents who are able to make it here today, to witness this occasion of award of the scholarship letters and the ticket and other materials to say goodbye and all the best to you in your studies. So today I want to thank again on behalf of the government to the parents, and I want to assure the parents that the chairman and the board here stands ready to provide the support that students may need during the course of study. The scholarships officer here will be in constant touch with the students, as we are with your counterparts there whom you will meet. We are in contact with them. There are certain challenges that they are facing, and the board is dealing with them very effectively and very efficiently. with these days, with the technology we have, it's easy to be in touch with them, at any particular point in time. With Viva, and it's quite cheap to be in touch. So I just want to say to the students here, while you are physically away from your parents, your loved ones, and the people here, but with that little gadget in your hand, you are in contact with us 24/7. And be rest assured that when you talk to us, you can even see us through Viva technology without any cost, but just to have the plan hooked up to the internet plan in your handset. Again, I wish you, each one of you, the 5 of you, a very successful study visit there, and we look forward to receiving doctors back home, and for you to serve our people in different parts of Fiji when you get back. Our people need you here. We all need you here. This is an area where we have a major shortage, but it might not be there for long. But with the exit that is happening from public to private, and from public-private to outside Fiji, we might be struggling for some time yet. So again, thank you very much, and I wish you all the best in your studies. Thank you.